Okay, so this is just a full disclosure right up ahead. I have this idea and I am trying to explain it, but I'm going to try and explain it to y'all, so it may just be all over the place. But it makes so much sense to me, like I can see it. Like, it's not my idea, it comes from out there. But when they show you things, you know, you're translating, you're trying to see it, understand it. But there's certain things that they've been showing me, and it has been definitely, well, I'll just explain how I see it. Oh, and I may be getting the pox, I don't know. And these red things, I even looked it up this morning. Like Googled smallpox. It's like, you know, how does it start? I did go out the other day in public. Where did I go? Oh, I had to walk through the airport last night to go pee. Oh, fuck. What I don't get is the people who totally believe in the pandemic, how they can just want to go in crowds and think a piece of fucking thing over your face is going to save you. For how much sickness is really out there right now, it's like, oh my gosh. I had a friend, my friend in Australia, I keep hearing of different people having the shed, getting in them, they're having stuff happen. It's creepy, man. So I prefer to just stay here and, you know, talk to y'all. But I'm not a crazy germ person, but I'm not also going to walk in, you know, to Outbreak and say, hey, serve me dinner. Let's have a time here. No. So anyways, I was Googling the stupid, what is the smallpox images? And, oh, it's gruesome. And then I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, it's so silly because they're going to just, you know, they're implanting information right now. So no telling what it really was, because what the pictures they're showing look like friggin' leprosy. So I don't know, but it may be, hopefully it's just a spider. I don't know, something's attacking my face. So if it is the pox, you know, I'll see you on the new earth. But okay, so I want to talk about this other thing. Okay, so yesterday was a day, I'll tell you. Oh God, it was such a day. Sometimes that's another thing too. When I leave my house, it's like you're going out, and energetically, I'm not talking about literally, I'm talking about energetically. It's chaos. People are in chaos. There's just chaos everywhere. The freaking sky is not normal. Oh, some of the stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this is stuff I would have seen in like Star Trek or something shows, these skies that are out there. But okay, so anyways, let's get back to what I was talking about, if I can stay on track. Okay, so, yesterday, what a freaking day it was in Seattle. Oh my gosh, Seattle's scary. I mean, there's nothing. We even we're gonna try and get the kids a sandwich before they got on the train, and couldn't even find places open. There was like no little places, not even places, you know. It's very deserted and empty feeling, but it still is traffic and chaos, and there's just homeless people. It is totally like, if you, like, I've been to some seedy places down in Hollywood and LA, so I've been in some really creepy alleyways and stuff, and that's what it's like. It feels like a big giant creepy alleyway. And plus it's just a tent city all over. It's just, I haven't even seen under the bridge where it originally was. Now it just seems it's just like a disease, like a sickness. That's why I keep talking about this whole thing. Remember about it being a disease and about this being a sickness, and why they've sent the white blood cells, which was part of what I wanted to talk about that I saw today that gave me a confirmation thing about something. So anyways, I gotta finish with the first part of it. The going for the horrible day. And then the train wouldn't even let them on. They let them come here, but then all of a sudden they want IDs, and a minor can't travel with a 17-year-old. So even with the mom standing right there, nope. So then we had to redo everything suddenly, and it was a fiasco there for a bit, and ended up out there at SeaTac. Oh my gosh, and this is all happening in the dark, and the traffic and the chaos, and it just felt like the whole time we're driving down there, it just felt like chaos. Oh my gosh, it just felt so much chaos. And so then while I was sitting at the airport, because then when she went in to do that, then they're like, well, you can't just leave your kids here. You have to stay until the plane leaves. Even though she left before that happened, after they had already boarded and they'd been on for a while, she went ahead and came and we drove. They still got home before we did. So anyways, while she was in there, I was just watching people out front. And, I was just looking at all the different people and all the different colors and how just the different features, like there's certain features that different people have that kind of match, So I just like to look at people, not judgy looking at them, but, I don't know, trying to understand things. So, and it got me to thinking is, because I was always taught that the color of us was due to the equator. The further you were, the lighter your skin. But then why in Africa is there so many different colored people? Like at that place on its own, like there's a lot of other places you can go and there'll be a lot of different colors of brown or whatever, but Africa? I mean, that is some very vast variance, it goes white to the darkest that you can come, that we've seen of skin, I think, comes from there. So it can go from so white to so dark. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So, anyways, I started thinking, because I'm really on the whole thing about the DNA from the other people. And this is the thing, too. Because it's not just the DNA that we have inside of us from the other beings giving us information, like downloading information to us, but we also, some of us have lived lives in these other places and have lived experiences. And so then you have, a life, like an inner knowing and stuff. Like I think a lot of stuff that people think are downloads, I think is just inner knowing. It's inner memory and you're remembering stuff. But then on this like planet alone, how many people like you have incarnated over and over and over, and you play all the different roles, and how many people right now are playing these roles with these people who they've been playing for so long. So we all are completely so much part of the same fabric. And I know I talk about this a lot, but it just is so clear to me. They show me this so much. And so while I was looking at these people, I'm thinking, man, does it even have anything to do with the equator? I mean, everything that they've told us has been lies. And, they had to come up with some reason why we were different colors. So, and, if we came all from the same person, we all came from Adam and Eve in their storybook world. I don't know all the different religions, but they push that religion hard as either it's science and you are a amoeba that moved to the surface and evolved, or a monkey that evolved. I mean, all the stories, I don't know. But I think, that there was different beings that were here, different mammals and, not bacteria or amoeba, but aquatic fish kind of things, whatever, the different kinds of things that were there at the time, that the other beings, the more advanced beings, were coming down and they were developing their own places. So they are taking different things from here. And so then that's how they started developing the DNA, and they all started messing with it and developing, an avatar for incarnation. So there were all of those opportunities for all of those different experiences. So you have all those different incarnations. So it was all for a purpose, why they did it. And it was a way long time ago. But that is why humans are here. And they put all their own DNA, 12 different ones, put in their own DNA to, kind of merge all of these different ones. But they all had different philosophies and different ways that they live and that they wanted to give to this new creature to, try and make this perfect kind of being, that's why this whole ascension thing is a really proud moment for not just humans, but all of these beings that are around. because of, it's like a success to this experiment has occurred. And, humans are evolving spiritually. They're becoming, they're able to connect with themselves outside of the avatar. And the avatar is a good way to come in and learn through the experiences in the dimension that avatar can exist. So, it all makes sense. And it makes sense as to why there is so many different features on our faces and so many different colors and stuff, and why it's such a merge of all of those different things. But I do think that the more darker people here are, because there was something with the Homo sapiens, and then some kind of thing with the Homo sapiens. There was like the missing link kind of things. And there was something with the Neanderthal man, and then all of a sudden there was another thing. I can't remember. This is stuff like you'd have to look it up. It's all about anthropology and archaeology, because my daughter was talking about it when she was in school. And but so I think the Neanderthal would be what is more of this kind of like the other ones. Would they be more of a hybrid because they were developed later? Because there's definitely some sort of part why these aristocrats are constantly going after the more indigenous melanated people. And it has something to do for control, but there's more to it, and that goes way back to other species, and I think in the fighting and control and stuff. But I think that the more melanated people are, the indigenous to Earth. They're the more natural, the beginning of the closest to what was created by nature. That's the best way to say it. They are the closest related to what was created by nature. They already had developed so much as their own beings, because there was all sorts of different things that were, when a planet is seeded, they put all of these different kinds, like from all different planets, all different places, bring different, and a lot of times in the very beginning there'll be certain beings there, and here it was supposed to be the Nephilim, and they kind of like the tenders, they kind of watch over things and take care of things. And so they were kind of monitoring the lab when it was just beginning to develop. But so there was a lot of creation in the beginning that was more of a natural. Then it became more messing with the DNA and stuff. It was kind of a part where it was just like, hey, we're just going to kind of, not mess with it as much, but kind of just turn it up and kind of make them more advanced and have more abilities, I think that's when they were using them kind of as slaves and stuff all the way back. But then I think they started tweaking it more and messing with it, and I think that's why we've seen that continue historically, like with the Nazis and stuff. It's something that has continued with this messing with the DNA, and I know that they want to do something about taking that melanated out, because it is something with nature. It's part of God. It's part of God's blood, and what is natural is God in nature. And there's more of an avatar, and there's more of a natural creation. I think people, there's some people who get what I'm saying. That's where I start going into, how much do I need to explain this? But I think you get what I mean. Like, there's some beings that are more a part of what was created with the planet, part of the planet as it created itself. Kind of like if you thought of the planet as being its own, bacteria, what it developed to protect itself and take care of itself was its own natural thing. So Earth had its own part of creation of the nature and stuff. Because so Earth had its own consciousness. Then as it kind of sprouted, its own more consciousness could develop. It was like we're all part of the same. More consciousness developed, and then it can pull free and become its more, pull free and become its more sovereign. Kind of like what we're doing. Everything is the micro, macro. Every freaking thing shows how it really is. It shows how it's happening in so many different layers and ways. It's always the same kind of story. But yeah, that's so crazy. I don't even know if you guys saw it, but I just saw it in my brain. So to me, that it does kind of, I gotta see now if I can get back to what I was talking about. But I'm just going to go back to another part. I knew I was going to be really scattered, because it's like this, it's really hard when you see like this big kind of picture and then you're trying to put it into words and understanding, especially when everybody's understanding is limited by their own understanding. So you can't understand things until you ask the questions, until you want to know and really open yourself up, because the answers can't come to you when you're not asking the questions. And you can only understand information up to where your understanding lies. You can't understand beyond that. So yeah, when you're talking to so many different people's understanding, and you know, everybody translates things differently. But you know, to me is about the, you know, all of these different races going, oh, I think I was talking about the natural beings and stuff. And so, yeah, how it would develop and then, you know, become its own consciousness and create more avatars and stuff. Because see, that's where they're messing with stuff on this level in the experiments. Is it's in a place that's above what we can understand, what most people can understand. You have to go so far outside of the box to understand what's really going on. And you know, this experiment continues. Still is moving my thing. She's right underneath the chair stretching. These experiments continue. We're still an experiment. I even just saw that part of the thing why some people are being so sick and just keeling over, it has to do with the lot number. And certain lot numbers are, you know, death code, and other ones, you know, but that's what I said. I've said it the whole time, that that is a completely experiment, and that they're testing different things, and it's way more complex than that, because they have different things in our water, in our air. They're testing that with this chemical, that chemical. I gotta, I'll be right back. I gotta cough. My throat is really going scratchy. And maybe I'll gather my thoughts so I can keep it more straight when I'm talking. I'll be right back.